right, move your gift to the left or right of the person next to you. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Word. I put together a little story about...
And you guys, you spent a lot of time
on this guy.
Please laugh when it seems appropriate. Cry when it seems sad.
I made a laugh sign. All right. This story is about friendship and how we all came to meet briefly. It's all truth, every word of this word.
It's not all.
It's all truth. All right, so this is titled All the Right Memories of Friendship. As I recall them. I was going to see if you'd pass mine around, but never mind.
Under control.
All right, so this story begins when Curtis, this goofy bastard right here, and I were just kids growing up in a little podunk town, Roberts, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, located just left and right. Of where parents who actually loved their children lived. Curtis had realized how limited his options of friends were, and I remember him reluctantly pointing his right finger. This is for you.
Oh, yeah.
At me and saying, "All right, we can hang out. Just don't fucking look, touch, or talk to me, or I'll drive my left foot right into your right testicle." This was truly a special kind of friendship. All true.
That's not verbatim.
Well, the years went by and our balls had dropped. Well, the left one did, but my right one, through time, managed to get lodged somewhere to the right of my spleen. I don't know where I'm at, there I am.
Yep, we're good.
Curtis had invited me to Walmart where he worked to meet Amanda for the first time. We walked through the store, moving left and right, down the aisles until we finally arrived to her apartment. "There she is," he said. "I finally found the right girl for me." Well, I looked up and chuckled, saying, "Right, dude, very funny." But then I quickly realized he was actually pointing to the Boston Terrier stocking shelves to the left of the hot chick I originally got confused with. Our duo quickly turned into three. I didn't feel right being the third leg, so I ventured out to find my own prison sentence. I ended up tapping some ass and tipping my hat to a few dozen hopefuls until I finally met Nicole at a restaurant we both worked at. At first, being the player I am, didn't want to give her the right directions to my house. But I'm glad.
I have no idea.
I left out some details, right?
I went through the sunroof to get into when I met him.
Sorry, go ahead.
But I'm glad I did. And she knocked on my door, and I knew I was in love when I saw a big bag of weed in her left hand. And a pizza in her right. That is truth.
That is actually true. There's actually an ounce, and I remember he said, "I love you," on our very first date.
First date, I love you. Never happened before.
Oh my God.
Yeah, or since. At first, Curtis and Amanda didn't care for her too much, though. After a long alcohol-induced sexcapade, serenaded by the sweet melodic sounds of Jimi Hendrix. What they thought was going to be a quiet, romantic night of camping with the sounds of crackling wood and crickets suddenly took a left turn to what actually sounded more like a rhino trapped in an SUV making sweet love to a kitty. In case you guys were confused, I was the kitty.
You just called me a rhino. It took 8 hours. My diary.
In time, though, they embraced her, and our trio was now a dysfunctional quartet. However, after a frustrating fucking road trip led by Sacagawea's retarded fucking grandson named Tom Tom, who after 4 fucking hours directed us to a fucking bike trail at the end of a town that resembled a fucking Ewok village. That's the truth.
That is the truth. Santa Rosa, California. I will never.
Ugh. Sorry, just thinking about it right now. Sucks. But let's just say we almost killed each other that day, and we decided we need more friends. We had to meet the right friends, though. And luckily we found Rachel and Mike. I warmed up to Mike rather quickly, especially after listening to his shitty golfing venture where he was shanking the ball to the right all day. So he thought in order to fix his game, he would just throw his clubs 50 yards to the left onto some houses.
Where it still rests today.
They're still there. He went on to explain how it just felt right at the time. It seemed that Curtis bonded with Rachel even faster, though, and soon after bonded with his shorts. I guess she had a procedure done, and I still don't know what it was, but I think Curtis knows, and now something just isn't right. Every time Rachel's torso turns left and right, Curtis's head follows. Something definitely isn't right, though, because Mike always looks so pissed off all the time. It's a nice coincidence meeting Danny and Tiffany because they already knew Rachel and Mike. I remember being at their wedding and watching Danny's puzzled expression as if he just realized right after the booze had worn off. Tiffany was standing there to his left in a white dress, and a preacher was making him promise her a bunch of crazy shit. Then later, the photographer kept telling him, "Okay, Danny, I'm going to need you to move to the left. A little bit more. Perfect. Ah, my best work yet." We noticed later, though, that Danny wasn't in any of the photos. It was nice meeting Rachel's brother, Jesse, and it's good to know he finally left that blow-up doll for a real girl.
It was hard.
I'm not sure I've met her yet, but I did. I figured out. But
A couple years.
I know, and I feel bad. But every time we hung out, he was constantly texting somebody, and if a blow-up doll can do that, well, then I'm confused, because I thought the benefit of having one was so that you didn't have to listen to what the bitch was thinking. I was worried Jesse and Curtis weren't going to get along at first due to a card game that left Curtis pretty broke.
Fuck you, Jesse.
And a fishing venture where Jesse seemed to be catching all the fish and was getting a little creeped out watching Curtis gradually make his way right next to him. Jeremy and Danielle must be cool being related to Rachel and Mike, but Mike is always telling me how he got all the right genes in his family. Jeremy is a better golfer, I'm told, but Mike says that it's not fair, though, because due to Mike's second favorite sport, club tossing, he only has a putter left in his bag. Last but definitely least, there's Chrissy James. She's probably the most famous person in the room. I don't know if you guys knew that. She starred on that cartoon SpongeBob as the adorable squirrel Sandy. Originally from the Lone Star State, she made the right moves and came to Idaho. She soon married the guy on that radio station. You know, the guy who starts talking and everyone then immediately turns the dial on their stereo to the left or the right. It doesn't really matter. Right? Merry Christmas, bitches.